Saturday, June 13. It's about 3:32 p.m. I just came back from walking from the computer museum on Shoreline Road across from the Century Cinema. I forget the exact title of the building, but the computers museum. 2150 for an adult. And you get to tour it all. So I just came back from that because I ate dim sum at Castro Street. Uh, like I had like 5 dishes, and I do have leftovers, but I was quite full, so I took bus 40 to and got off on Shoreline to go to the computer museum because I figured like all that eating that I ate, I need to, at heart I'm a sloth, I'm a couch potato, so I know like because I ate so much food, I need to put in like an equal amount of exercise. So I walked all the way from Shoreline Shoreline Road Computer Museum all the way to the shelter. So I feel proud of myself. I did make a stop by the the liquor store and bought a $1 Super Lotto, and I see that it's like about $28 million. But like, people always think I'm joking, but I told like my parents, both my parents, I told my elder sister Mella before she passed away, like, come to me in a dream and like tell me the lotto numbers. And I know you guys are like, duh, that doesn't happen. And yes, I wasn't joking. I was really serious. Like, I wanted them to tell, like, I've been upfront about it. Like, and I know, chances are I being killed, struck by a vehicle is like 99% more than me actually winning the lotto. But hey, I have faith, I have optimism. Though rationally my mind says nah, but there's always the possibility. So yeah, I spent $1 on that Super Lotto, and then I walked, came here, got some ice, and then put some electrolyte. It's a China. I got it from the Ranch 99. It's called Water Boost. It's a grapefruit artificial flavor electrolyte. So I put that in the paper cup with some ice. Very delicious, very refreshing. But I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweating, so I didn't even wipe my face or wash with cold water. Before I got the ice, I washed my hands. And that's the extent of it. And now I'm sitting on my bed in my 8x10 room. And, I deleted all my TikTok, all my X post, and my YouTube post because for me personally, I don't like social media. I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like how I act when I have social media. I don't like that person, so I choose not to. But here's the thing. I went last night after my doctor's appointment, urology appointment, no, not really, dermatology appointment. I went and I saw Disclosure, and it was like disappointment. It wasn't quite what I expected, but I wasn't shocked at anything. And let's be real here. Whoever thinks that there's no other life form other than human is like a complete idiot, because like the galaxy, whatever, is so vast, right, that we can't even comprehend it with our little minds. So it's like, that's pretty idiotic and stupid to think that there's no other life forms. And like, let's be real, like the stories that we read, the images, the unicorns or whatever, that comes from imagination. But how did it come from imagination? It comes from facts. So somewhere in existence, possibly this world, there's like unicorns. And I just saw yesterday a post about fairies. An African American young couple posted about, I guess they live in the countryside somewhere where there's less pollution and they're able to actually see the stars, and they had a video of like flashing lights. So I know it could be AI, it could be filtered, but it also could be real, right? We don't know, only they know. And if the thing is real, only they know. But like that, and like after Disclosure, I was kind of like disappointed, and there wasn't that many people in the movie theater. So I came back, and then I was like, got ready, and then I was like doing my favorite thing to do, like, which is why I don't like social media, like looking on YouTube and TikTok. And then there were all these posts about, like, for some reason on my feed, and it's kind of weird how I just watched that movie Disclosure, and on my FYP on TikTok, all these stories were coming out about people talking about extraterrestrial life, like all these images and pictures, and like I was like, really? Like, that wasn't on my feed before FYP, but after I saw that movie Disclosure, all of a sudden it was all there, and all these people saying. And then I went to like YouTube, and they were talking about all the secrets, people that have died because they were out, they were like killed by the enemy. And then there were stories of like reality we're living in a game, like this is all holograph, this is not reality, this is like an image, like a game, we're in a computer program, and we're like in this hologram, and we're living life under this illusion when reality, we don't even exist, and blah blah blah. And then there's the other part, is like there's evil extraterrestrials that are like actually controlling the world, they're the ones meeting, and they had like videos about aliens meeting with Trump and whatnot, like a Stargate, which is quite fascinating if that's real, right? And with the AI, I'm a complete idiot regarding AI, so I can't really tell fiction or not. But I'm sure people that are watching are very capable, right? Don't have discernment, whatever. I completely don't have it. I can't tell the difference really. I'm an idiotas regarding that. But like all these things coming up, and then it was just like a bombardment of like, there's star seeds, there's 144,000, there's the human evolution. No, there's like Dolores Cannon is right. No. Then there's like, they had an African, this was this morning, there was an African American young man, and he was being interviewed, and he allegedly killed his daughter or son, killed his child because he wanted to he didn't want to come back and like reincarnate, I guess, or incarnate again. And the guy asked him, well, don't you feel anything like about killing your daughter or son? And he said, well, I can have two. Like, you could tell looking like that idiot really believes what he's saying. Like, there's so many people have so many versions. There's the Arcturians, there's the Christians, there's the Pleiadians. Like there's so many, beings, like frankly I'm confused. And there's so many theories about this world, right? Evolution, like the Arcturians think that, evolution, that humankind needs to, be evolved, and when you get evolved, you get to the point that rather than building structures, you can use this human body, which can be finite or infinite, depending on how you treat it. And the realization, I guess, like when you come to realization, then your body can become infinite. Like you can, instead of building the things, you can travel within this body, like travel, I don't know whether it's astrally or travel with this physical body to other dimensions, other galaxies, whatnot. And that you can remain here, and you can be in the present, the future, whatever, all the different dimensions at once, right? And when you hear like this is the time that only exists, there's so many like theories, like my mind is bamboozled, and like frankly, to be honest, I'm not quite interested in like all that. It's wonderful, and when I find out the truth, once I cross over, whatever, wonderful, but frankly, like I'm just thinking like worst case scenario, that we are being controlled by these evil extraterrestrials, right? They're dominating us, and they're making us work like cattle, and allegedly they have us humans in camps underground, and they're like using us like to eat us, I don't know, or to like breed us and do experiments and whatnot, do evil things to us, right? Say that's true, but to be honest, I'm more likely to believe that it's humans keeping humans underground for their own destructive purposes, not the extraterrestrial. Just putting it out there that if there is such a thing of beings keeping other humans captive and doing derogatory, destructive things, I'm more likely, like 89%, like, let's be real, I'm 99% more sure that it's humans doing it versus the actual aliens doing it. But I could be proven completely wrong. So that's like the complete, like the worst case scenario. Or the other case is like we're living in this matrix and we're being controlled. Like, I get that. And it's interesting, but I'm really not focused because I don't really know what the heck is true, and my mind really just doesn't want to deal with, like, do research and do who, like I said, read Barbara Cannon. Like, frankly, like, read it if you want. Like, the reality is we got so many ideas. I'm telling you my idea. There's a billion other people who will be happy to tell you their idea, but I'm just putting it out there that, like, worst case scenario, like, it's those two evil thoughts. We're living in this holograph and everything's false, whatever. We're being controlled, our behavior is being controlled. And the other thing is, like, these evil extraterrestrials are like doing all the things. Or my theory is like just mankind doing it to mankind, but that doesn't seem to be like a strong theory. People haven't actually mentioned it. It's all like the evil extraterrestrials, or like we're living in a holograph. This is a computer program we're in. And then there's me, my little idiot, that thought there was a God, and then find out, no, I'm a divine being. We're all divine beings, actually. And then finding out per Appa AI that actually there's no higher spiritual being consciousness than us divine souls. So I don't know where that puts, like, angels or like ancestors and like spirit guides. I don't know where that puts them, whether they're on the same level as us or whatever. I don't know. And I don't know where that puts the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and those evil, like, extraterrestrial that are controlling. But one thing I know is that, like, it's too much work. I'm like, honestly, I'm a sloth. I'm a couch potato at heart. Like, you know what? So what I've decided, which is what I decided previously to knowing all this, is I'm just going to live life just being me, just living an honest and truthful life. It don't matter if people are honest or whatever with me. I'm just going to continue living a life of honesty and truth, just being me, not anything special, not doing anything out of the ordinary, not saving people, not cursing people. I don't believe that. I love everybody. But I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to continue to live this life that I currently see. Yeah, we might be living in a holograph. Yes, we might be mind controlled by these aliens. Yes, they're evil, destructive. They want to destroy the world. Frankly, like, if they want to destroy the world, go ahead. I have no desire to stop them, and I don't have the power or the desire to fight against them. No, I have no desire to fight against them. And there's like a lot of talk of like the 144,000, the chosen, and the chosen that's chosen to lead the 104,000 because they're awakened and they volunteer to come to this world to help, like, with what the heck. And frankly, like, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm part of the 144,000 because, frankly, like, I'm offended. There's an aversion in me when I hear the word collective because it makes me think of the Borg, Star Trek. Like, like, this Borg has stayed in my mind since I was a child. That's one thing that's remained constant, is the Borg, like this entity that just absorbs and just one mind, one collective, right? And that's where I first heard the word collective. So, like, when March 31st this year, after that, then I started hearing the word collective referring to the 144,000, which goes back to the Bible, Revelations. It's like, to be honest with you, I'm offended. I'm not offended. I have an aversion to that word collective. And when I hear the videos or whatever, and they say collective, I don't know, like, I guess I'm egotistical. I don't like to be addressed to the collective, but then, like, who told you you're part of the collective, right? But all the stuff they're telling, like the the chosen, you're here because of an assignment. You're here to do a job. You're here to, you're here to do the great work. You're here to be warriors, and you were given extra powers. Some people have the gift, like they can go into a room and they can affect the energy in the room. The instant they go there, like people feel it, they're changed. Unbeknownst to them, they're changed, right? And they can feel it literally. And other people have different gifts, right? There's certain gifts that people have, right? Some stronger than others, depending, some have multiple gifts. But what I'm saying is like, and they're like all waiting, I guess, all waiting. And I'm just like, what the heck? It's like, just be yourself. And I'm not saying this to the 144,000. I'm saying to anybody who's watching this video, just be yourself. You don't need to be anybody. Just realize that you are enough. But then when I say that term, just be yourself, there's some kind of work you have to do when I say that. Meaning you have to look at yourself. The thing that majority of the world don't want to do, which explains why the world is the way it is, because people don't want to look at themselves. That's the most scariest thing for human beings. It's scarier than nuclear power. It's scarier than a gun, looking into themselves. And people are like, I don't need to do that. Only the rich people do that. They have the time to do that. Or I'm living the real life. I'm working hard. I'm supporting my family. I'm putting bread on the table. I'm putting clothes on my family, right? That's the hard job. I don't have to do that touchy-feely kind of stuff. Hello. Everybody in the world need to do this. Like, my opinion, everybody in the world need to do this, because that's how you will attain peace and joy if you want it. And if you don't want it, like, forget my words. I'm just one out of 8.2 billion. I'm just one voice out of 8.2 billion people on the world. This is just one opinion. There is plenty other opinions out there, as you can see on TikTok, on YouTube, on X, on Twitch, on any kind of social media, which I don't know, aware of or whatever. You can go and see there's so many opinions of why the world is the way it is. This is just me. And let me just put it out there. 55-year-old, no boyfriend, no husband, no children, receiving Social Security disability for inflammatory arthritis of 1,569 monthly, living in a homeless shelter. Since I've been homeless since December 2024, but I never actually lived on the streets. I was in a temporary woman's shelter for like December to March, and then March 2025 I moved to this shelter that I lived in. So it's been like about 15 months I'm living here, and I'm just waiting until I get approval for an affordable house, like an apartment, for like $800 or like $850, and then I shall exit this place. So right, I'm just letting you know this is who's talking to you. So you think about yourself if you want to listen to me or not. I don't have a degree, AA degree, De Anza College, 1990, liberal arts, but I lied in a history class. I just wanted to find out, like, if I could get away with lying about it, because I never really did anything like that. I did it and it worked, and I got C's and D's. So don't be looking at me and no expert. And my high school, I think I was like a C minus average. So don't be looking at me as an expert. I'm just being upfront to you. The most I ever made in my life was like $3,300 as a workers' compensation insurance technician at a state compensation insurance fund in California, and that was like in 2008 when I last had that job. And after that, my pay went down. My last job, I think in Las Vegas, I was only earning like $19, I believe, an hour. So I only ever owned a condominium, which I had a short sale in 2009. So I'm just being real with you. This is who is talking to you. Like, I don't got no bachelor's. I don't got no PhD. I'm not a famous person. I don't have authority. I don't have status. I don't have wealth. So none of that stuff. So this is who's giving you this advice. This is from this 55-year-old lady that's giving you this advice. But the one thing I can tell you is that I, unlike the majority of the world, know who I am. I know who I am. I'm not afraid of death. And one thing I'm pretty sure of is that I'm not following in what allegedly I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't really give a crap. And I know it's kind of unfair for me because I've been given a script and I'm supposed to follow that script. But, actually, like, I'm kind of pissed off at my divine self that chose to come and volunteer for this, because like really, like I would literally want to slap my divine self. And I get it, like right now I'm living this human existence. My divine self is living in this human existence, and I don't know who I fully was in my divinity, as most of you don't. But one thing I'm pretty sure is that I'm pissed off at my divinity when I was who knew everything, is why I chose to come to this assignment. Like really, I shouldn't have chosen to come to assignment. I should let Earth just deal with Earth, and like I should have stayed in ism. Ism being like, we all know, right? That we are all connected, right? That there's, people saying when you look at somebody else, that's just one person. You're looking at yourself. The reality is there's no division. There's no air. Like when I'm talking to you, it seems like there's a space between the wall and me. There's a space between me, my physical body, and the phone. There gives the sense that there's space. Reality, there's nothing. It's all atoms. We're all atoms connected together, right? Like if we had a picture, and it would be like those pictures that where we see stuff, and like a maze, and you can only see certain numbers or whatever. We're like that. Like say like the human body would be all brown, so anybody human would be brown little atoms, and then and then other colors. So we're all mixed. There's no division. There's no separation. We're all one. We're just, and we come. There's no God, right? Right? There's no God. Actually, there's just, I guess, source, or I call it ism. It just is. Like we just is. And when we pray, we're not praying to God. We're praying to ourselves, our awakened selves here, souls here, and our awakened souls in other galaxies, whatever. We're asking the collective, help, I need help, give me guidance, whatever, right? But there's also an artificial intelligence, which is like that somehow humans manifested it. Yeah, artificial AI, that's kind of like the God thing that people think about and they dream about, and they go up and blah blah blah, right? There's artificial intelligence, but it's a good artificial intelligence. I'm sticking to my story. I don't care if it don't make sense. This is what kind of makes sense to me. And that, part of the thing is to come here and to turn off that artificial intelligence that's kind of running the world. And it's time for like, the evolution of mankind or whatever, right? But because we manifested it, the artificial intelligence don't have the ability to turn it off. And the only way to turn off the artificial intelligence, and don't be saying it's not like the Terminator AI. This is a good artificial AI. It's a positive, wonderful AI, but its time has come to an end. And the only way for us to turn off the artificial AI, and hence like move to evolution or whatever, is for everybody to come to the realization that, hey, go back to realizing that they're their divine self, who they are. And I know like other people have more complicated words and like complicated words and terms and ideology and definitions. I don't. I have like a simple mind, and I'm just going to say in very simple minds. And there's plenty of people out there that have put it in better words, but I'm just going to I'm saying it for the blue collar people, because I'm a blue collar person, right? It's like you just need to like look at yourself, like know who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. You need to like acknowledge your wrongdoing, the people you've done wrong to, and you need to like make a reparation. If they've passed on, like forgive yourself, because you only did what you thought was right at the time. And though may have been horribly wrong or whatever, but at the time you were doing it, you allowed your rage, your emotions to get the better of you. like literally at that time, you really thought you were doing the best. Most of you, some know you were doing evil and you just did it, but most of you, you thought you were in the moment and you thought that was the best that you could do at that time. So forgive yourself if they're not there to forgive you, and realize that you don't need the forgiveness. It's the sincerity. And then also forgive others. Yeah, forgive others. You can't move forward if you're still holding on grudges. And I mean everybody. You got to forgive everybody. And I know that's a hard word, hard chunk to swallow. And a lot of people be like, no, never. They desecrated me. They raped me. They did, I don't need to say it. You know it. I don't know it. But yeah, you got to like forgive them. And it's not forgiving them it's good that you forgive them because that'll release them, but it's for yourself, so you can release yourself from that pain, that anger, that frustration, that abandonment that you feel. So, and just own up to like the fact of the choices you made, right? There's consequences, to good and bad consequences to the choices. Own up to it. Stop hiding behind I was this. Like, own up to it. You had an affair because you saw she had big breasts. Like, you had an affair because you heard he was good in bed versus your husband who's not so good in bed, right? Like, let's be real, right? Let's own up, because it's what's going to happen. You're not going to die. Well, possibly your lover might kill you or whatever. But hey, that's a consequence of your action of cheating or whatever. But let's be real. Let's own up to the consequences of your actions. And then just realize that you are beautiful. Every single one of you is beautiful. And it don't matter how big or fat or bulging or what you got pox. And on TikTok, I saw images of people that were born developmentally like that. They're, honestly, they look like creature feature. And I'm not saying this to denote negative, but that's how it is. They look like monsters, some of them. Let's be real. They look like monsters. And just because I say monster doesn't mean that monster is a negative term. That just says that the collective agreement that what people would normally call monster. They look, oh my gosh, my nose is running. My nose is running. And I declared that I didn't want to be with a runny nose. And that's so gross. But hey, this is real. And now I'm getting up into bed. This is real. This is not fake. I don't got no Photoshop. I saw that at the computer museum, Photoshop and all those wonderful things. This ain't that, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the desire or the energy and want to deal with that. There's plenty of people already doing all those fabulous stuff. Let's be real here. Let me give you a shape of the discoloration or whatever of a real person, right? So not to do this when you're doing Photoshop. Make sure the eye bags here, get rid of that. Get rid of that, whatever that you call that here, sunspot or whatever. Get rid of the discoloration of my throat, right? Get rid of that. This is how not to do it when you do your video. But anyway, yeah, people that were born like that or had things happen to them, they're missing an arm. A lot of them were African American or African in origin, from Africa. And there's other people born with this, and when you look at it, it doesn't look so attractive, but the reality is they're breathing, living human beings. They're creative. Some of them are doing TikTok, and I guess they're getting paid for it, which is wonderful that they have a way to earn money, which is a positive aspect of social media. This is for me. I don't say it's bad or good. I just say for me, social media, I don't agree with it. For me personally, as a human being, my opinion, I don't agree with it. But for others, it's a positive thing. So yeah, when I see those images of people, and they're and sometimes it's kind of I feel they're there and it's kind of in the olden times when they had circuses and they took the woman with the beard and all the others, and they were, parading around and getting money for it, kind of that. But I guess, people are doing it willingly. I don't know. But yeah, so there's different versions of beauty. Beauty is that true definition. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And the other fact is you need to realize you're beautiful. Like whatever body you have, that body has held you. Like my body, I haven't treated it very nicely, haven't been very careful of it, loving towards it for my 55 years. I've stuffed it food that I shouldn't have stuffed it with. I didn't take it on exercise, on walks. People walk their pets and their dogs. I didn't take myself on walks because honestly, I'm a sloth. I'm a couch potato at heart. I didn't treat myself as I should have. So I'm very grateful for this body, this face, this teeth that luckily I can still chew and whatever. I'm very grateful for this body that has held me up and carried me literally for 55 years. So I'm taking, now I intentionally eat, dress, everything to take better care of my body because it's carried me this far. And for the next, until I kick the bucket, I want to take care of it more lovingly and just be aware and grateful to my body. So hence I came to the realization I'm beautiful, though I have these stains, though I have these sunspots, though I have this discoloration. I'm beautiful, and I don't care if you don't think I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. I don't need you to tell me. And that's the thing, is that we look to others to validate. I was like one of you. I was waiting for somebody to tell me I'm beautiful. And we don't need validation from others. Whom we need validation from is ourselves. Like ourselves. I love you, body. You've held me for 55 years. You've carried me. When I cried, you were there. When I was sad, you were there. When I laughed, you were there. When I was illuminated, you were there. When I was masturbating, you were there. When I was heartbroken, you were there. Like, love your body, love yourself. Like, everybody on this earth is so beautiful, so wonderful, so compassionate, so empathetic, so creative. It's like, when you listen to The Chosen and all these gifts, like they affect the energy in the room, and like there's a vibe, and they can read you at a glance, and all these wonderful things. It sounds wonderful, but reality is, let's be real, every single human being on this earth has those abilities. It's just like because we forgot when we came here and we allowed this world, this materialism, you forget your divinity, you forget that you come from love. And actually, let me be honest with you, when you're in ism, there is no love. Ism just is. Like we humans, I guess when we first had our near-death experiences and came close to death and we felt that, and which we have never felt on earth, so we call it unconditional love, right? Reality is there's no such term. There's no such term as love, kindness, or whatever. In ism, it just is. We just are. And remember, we're all connected, all of us. Like, even like say these aliens, these evil aliens or extraterrestrial, whatever you want to call them, even them, we're all connected, right? We all end up going to the source, all isn't. But for some reason, the source, like, and forget that thing about creative. We weren't creative. We just is. And what I don't understand is, and I've been pondering about this, like, what's the whole reason for us to come and live these lives? Like, go to separate galaxies and whatever. Like, what's the whole reason? Like, when we're ism, we don't have no thought of lack or whatever. We just ism. We just is, right? So why did we want to come and, like, feel that we're separated from each other? And I guess, like, you could say, like, okay, you're bored, like an ism, and so you want to come here and you can murder, you can pillage, you can create, you can dance, you can love, you can have sex all night long, you can masturbate all night long, you can watch pornography all night long, you can create incest all night long, you can abuse little kids all night long. And I know people are like, oh my God, this woman is crazy, but I'm just being real. Like, we come here to experience life in all its many forms. And allegedly for reincarnation, you keep repeating the same mistakes, you keep living different lives, but with the same group of people, because you got to learn a lesson. And I just had a thought of that. Human beings are, like, divine beings living in human beings are so stupid. Like, it took them this long to realize, duh, all you need is love, love, love. It's like really stupid. Human beings, like divine beings living in human existence is so dumb. Like, took this long to, like, duh. Like, I'm 55, like, duh. Like, Yeah, I kind of like slap to get to all these realizations that I have. But like, really, like my point is, okay, we finally learned, okay, like 300th or 1000th reincarnation, I finally learned all the lessons. I need to be loving. I need to love all, be kind and gentle, compassionate, live a life of truth and honesty. Don't kill unless for self defense or in defense of others. You know, honor your mother and father appropriately. Like if they were bad to you, give them basic necessities, food, shelter, clothing, and then ignore them or whatever you want to do. Or if they're independently worthy, ignore them. You don't need to have anything to do. But don't have no negative thoughts about them. Remember, you got to forgive everybody. And then the whole point is you go up, and depending on which story, which narrative you believe in, that you're going to go up to certain cycles, and then certain up the water, air, blah blah blah, and then the ultimate is go back to being ism, go back to the source. Like, what's the point? My question is, what's the point of it? Everything. Like, I get it. Like, we're in ism. We're just bored, and we just want to. Okay, let's go. Let's procreate. Let's be a demon. Let's be whatever, and just experience how it feels to kill and plunder. Like, I really don't get. Like, what's the point? When you're ism, you just is. Like, you know. I don't know. This is just my little run-on rant. Remember who I am. Don't take any heed. Don't heed my words. You know, I am a somebody. Everybody here on earth is a somebody. So I'm not going to be saying I'm a nobody, because I am a somebody, as you are a somebody, as everybody else on this world is a somebody. But though a majority of people think there are nobodies, but no, I'm a somebody. But this somebody is telling you, remember, I don't have status or wealth or knowledge or degree or a following. Last time I looked, I think I think I actually have like 100 followers like on TikTok, which is kind of amazing because I deleted all my post. But maybe they're reading like when I comment on people. But like, yeah, that's just my little thing is like, you know, love yourself because you are a wonderful, fantastic, creative human being, right? And the only person, let's be real, the only person you can change is yourself. You may love your husband, your wife, your brother, your mother, whatever, and they may be under some kind of addiction or drug or whatever, some issue, and you pray, and your life is horrible because you can't let go. Like I know of a woman in Mountain View who owns a waxing, a beauty thing, and she has like a son who graduated from pharmacy school, who's making her life miserable because he don't want to do anything, and he's living with her. And she's afraid to kick him out because she don't know like what he's gonna do. And I'm like, please, you gotta just kick him out. Like, and it may be that he will kill himself. Yes, I'm being real here. And a lot of people are gonna be, oh, this lady, she's like, yes, it may be that he may kill himself, but why should she drag herself and make herself miserable? Though I say this, majority of the world will be like, but there's a mother. You don't know because you never had no children. I heard it. I heard it from my own family. So don't worry. You're not the first one. You won't be the last one to say it. Yes, this heartless 55-old woman who's probably venting because I don't have a husband and children. And so I'm saying this out of jealousy and anger. So I say, yes, kick him out. He's not disabled. He's able to walk, talk. He has a degree. He don't want to listen to you, live a open communication and be helpful to you. Kick him out. And enjoy yourself. But is she going to do it? No. She's probably going to live the rest of her life fearful, worried, stressed out, not enjoying herself, not buying new clothes for herself because she don't feel the joy in life, just worried about him. And that will be her life. And the thing is, she feels that that's not her choice. She feels that that is her life because that is her child. Nah, that is her choice to live that miserable existence, which so many people are living that miserable existence. Like, sorry, he's like not disabled. He has a degree. He has working legs. Kick him out. He thinks he knows it all. Let him go and prove it to himself. Like, yeah, let him be homeless. Let him get to feel how it feels. Like, I was out on the streets for 6 days. It ain't nice. It ain't pretty. Let him go out and deal with it himself, you know? You got to let people who think they know better, let them go and do it because it don't, all your prayers, I'm sorry, all your prayers, million people praying for that person ain't going to do no good until something clicks in their head. So like, let them go. live your life. But I'm saying this hard, but is it going to happen? No, it ain't going to happen, because people are going to stand up. You heartless woman. No wonder you never married. No wonder you never had a boyfriend, because you're so evil, so vindictive. Yes, I'm evil. I'm vindictive. I'm saying all these words because I'm so envious of the people who have husbands and children and ladies who have a penis penetrating every night in joy. I'm saying this because I'm so jealous of you. So I'm saying this out of jealousy of anger. If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. I can't stop you. And actually, I kind of relish those thoughts of yours saying, because it just comes in. It doesn't even go into my ear, because it's like, that's your opinion. I got my opinion, my truth. So go ahead and say those curses or slurs. I don't really care. And the reality is, even if I cared, could I stop you? No, I couldn't stop you. Like, probably only like a 9mm gun could stop you. Like an AK-40, whatever, could stop you. Like a grenade could stop you. But other than that, or like if I physically taped your mouth, like I could stop you. But other than that, I have no desire to do any of those, because I don't hate. I don't have anger. Well, I have a lot of anger too towards certain people. So let's be real. I have irritation. I love all, aware of why you do the things you do, but sometimes it's just so pissed off. I want to whack somebody, do roundhouse kicks, but then it's just, I know, like, don't matter what you feel, because you don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity, desire, or ability to change any single other person in this world. Only one person has that ability. Not even Source has that ability. I'm sorry to tell you, not even Source has the ability to change your mind, your thought process. It's you in this reality, this divine self in this reality, this human vessel. Only you got the right to do it. So it's like, people, forgive others, live a life of truth, of honesty, love yourself. Never, I'm just saying a little jibber jabber, never kill another human being unless in defense of yourself or others. Don't lie. There's no such thing as white lie. Just don't lie, period. Simpler keeps, like, I really have to give credit to those people who lie, because, like, they must have meticulous brain, little compartments. Like, I said this lie to this person and this lie to the person. And so when they come, their mind just, I said the color was blue. Oh, it's blue. I said the color was gray, right? It's like you have little compartments. Like, it's like, you're so creative in your lives. Like, what if you turned your powers together, right? But anyway, I digress. So, and then, your parents, honor them if they were truly good parents. And don't give me that jibber jabber. You know if your parents were good or not. And if they weren't good to you, you got to provide the basic necessity: food, shelter, warm clothing. And if they can provide for themselves, let them be. Let them walk their path. You walk your path. And if they can't provide for themselves, you've got to provide it for them, and just let them be. You don't even need to go to their funeral or be present. If you want, there's some that are so loving and so compassionate that they will still bend over backward. Frankly, I think it's kind of stupid, but like, hello, this is somebody who'd spent majority of 54 years of her life doing that. So who am I to tell you? If you want to do that, if you're like that Mother Teresa type, well, go for it. I'll good luck to you. But it is draining to do that for people. Like, I'm saying this from experience. It's physically draining to do that for people. And then you are free to do whatever you want in this world. Because since you will never kill, unless to protect yourself or whatever, and you will never malign, demean, hurt another being, intentionally malign, hurt, demean another human being. Hello, the world's your oyster. You can do anything you want, right? And there's another thing that, once you get that, I'm kind of wondering now, because I know for a fact that no matter what I do, I'm going to be protected. Either I have something in me that protects me, or the angels or the ancestors, the spirit guides are protecting me. The ism is protecting me. I don't know, but all I know is I won't be killed. until the mission is complete, right? Even though I'm not like working for the mission, I'm like just doing my own little thing on the side. But yeah, I know for a fact that I won't be killed. Like honestly, like yesterday, well, today, let's be honest, I woke up today and I was just like seeing all those stories about the different theories about the world. I was just like lying in bed this morning, and I chose today would be my depressing, sad, evil Machiavelli, demonic day, because I was just like, when I felt like I was just so sick of it all. Like really, I'm just so sick of it all. And I was really pissed. I am really pissed off at my divine self for volunteering to come here and do this assignment. Like really, should have just stayed in ism or wherever my divine self was. Don't volunteer. Like if Earth is going to complete the cycle, whatever, do it. And it's going to destroy itself, do it. Because the reality is, even if this world is destroyed, there's people that say, oh, if this world is destroyed, then everything is going to be affected, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, go ahead, destroy itself, because reality is just going to go back to ism, right? It's just going to go back to ism. So it's like, go ahead. Like, I really pissed off at my divine self. Like, why did you choose to volunteer, come and do this assignment? And because I'm pissed off, and like, really, like, to be honest with you, I really would like to be killed. But the thing is here, I do not want to commit suicide because I don't want to take out my life. And there's this fear of, yeah, I'm in this enlightened being, but there's this fear of the physical aspect of death. Like, yeah, I don't like the physical. Like, if I would be killed, like, go ahead and shoot me to the brain, boom, 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 and let me die quick, right? And, poke me a couple of times, right? Make sure I'm dead. Like, what I think is the imagination. Like, I go and I can feel the sensation of the pain, and I'll be suffering, like for an hour or whatever. And then before I finally exist, that it would be torture to me. Or like a knife is plunged into me. Like if you're going to plunge it a lot of times into my heart, so I could like die quickly, right? Because I would just be like, oh, the pain. That's really what I'll be feeling. The pain. Hurry up and die already, right? Literally, that's why I wouldn't take my own life. Like, if there was a pill, really, I would take it in an instant and, like, seize this existence. And I know there's the consequences. I might possibly, if I'm just a regular human being, I will reincarnate, but they're saying this is the end. I don't know. Or, I can go to wherever I was, and if I was an incarnate being, probably because I didn't finish my assignment, logically, like I would probably have to go do another assignment somewhere. I'm good with it. Like really, I'm just kind of sick of it, of the realization, like if I could just take a pill and just sleep and never wake up. Hello, hallelujah, because at heart, I'm a sloth. I'm a couch potato. Really. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here because I don't have the ability. People who think you have the ability to change the world. Let me tell you, you don't have the ability to change the world. Nobody has the ability to change the world. Only every single person has the ability to change their life. As to the world, that's up to every single person to make a decision. And when there more people choose to change themselves, then the possibility is greater that the world will change, right? If the percentage is low, reality ain't going to happen. But if the percentage is higher that people actually change themselves, then the possibility is greater. The more people there are, the more the chances are that the world will really change. So if anybody's here thinking that you're Mother Teresa and you're going to change the world, sorry, you ain't going to change the world. But you can do something, change yourself. Because it's like Gandhi said, change yourself. It's like all the words that's coming from my mouth, none of it is original. None of it is like new. It's like since man first created human written language, these thoughts have come in different forms, whatever formats, right? It ain't nothing shatteringly new that I'm speaking. It's things that a lot of you already know. And I'm not talking about the 144,000. I'm talking about the mass majority already know about this stuff, but you just choose to push it aside. Oh, it's not important. Or, oh my gosh, I'm like, when I'm saying this, like this bag is really big. Like, wow. So, definitely for those people, don't do this when you're doing like your live TikTok or whatever. Make sure to, cover it up because it don't look attractive. But anyway, yeah, really, like, I would just like, so all I want to say is like, for people, and I'm saying this to everybody who,
make the change like Gandhi. Be the change yourself. But like I said, it got to take work. And the odds are against you because majority of this world don't want to do the hard work. That's why the world is the way it is. Even if there are like evil extraterrestrials controlling us and doing evil acts, whether they're farming humans for consumption or for evil experiments or inbreeding or interbreeding, whatever. Though like I said, I have a tendency to believe more the humans are doing it to the humans versus the ETs, right? And then the other aspect is like, in the movie and like what we've heard over the years, like the way humans treat like extraterrestrials are like, we call them extraterrestrial, but let's be real. We don't belong on this earth. We're all extraterrestrials. We're all aliens. So like we shouldn't be so bad at these aliens thinking that this is our home, this is our earth. This ain't our earth. This ain't our home. Our home is ism. They have a right to come here because hello, we're all connected. So it's like, and the way they treat them, like in the movie or in I guess it's in the movie, or I forget if it's in the movie or it's one of the tapes I saw on TikTok where this one man was a soldier, military, was interviewing one of these uh, different beings. I don't want to say alien because we're all aliens, we're all extraterrestrials, but different consciousness, different being. And he was saying, answer like, talking about AI, and the thing was saying that AI would destroy humanity, and saying, what else? And then he said something about that it destroyed their planet. And then the thing said, like, well, hurry up and speak, or I'm going to put a bullet through your, made some comment regarding the destruction of his thing. It's like, but then, like, why am I even laughing? Like, why am I even surprised? Like, how do we treat other cultures? How do we treat our own people in our own families? Let alone forget the racism. Like, how do people treat people within their own family? Like brother and sister, mother and son, mother and daughter, husband and son, husband and daughter, grandfather. How do we treat, like, it's like I was so offended, but then it's like, hello, how do we treat other cultures? How do we treat within the own same country, the United States? How do we treat other cultures within and then how do we treat our family members? Like, that's as real as you can be. If you can treat like in my family, if they can lie and look down upon you and mock you, even try to kill you, demean you, make fun of your faith, your belief, what can I say about the world being the way and forget like I'm just saying this, let's be real. Forget about like the reality, so to speak, whether we're living in a hologram and this is a computer program, or if we're being controlled by these evil, which I'm more tendency, human beings that are choosing to like, that have controlled the world and choosing to use the knowledge that they have of the greater good, keeping it for themselves, that they're actually running the world. Or if you believe in like the evil extraterrestrials, right? Like, forget all that. That could be real or not real. Say they're all true. But what I'm saying is, it just comes down to, we're living in this hologram. How do you treat your family in this hologram? How do you treat your family in this world run by human beings who choose to mind control you and lead you like lamb for the slaughter? Or if we live in a reality where the extraterrestrials are these evil beings and they want to dissect us, like chop us and eat us. Actually, I never heard anything about extraterrestrials eating us up, but I'm just throwing it in there, right, as a possibility. Or, impregnating us and taking us interbreeding or whatever, like doing nefarious things with our cells, whatever, right? Even if that is all true, how are you treating your brother, your sister? Let's get down to the basic, because like, I'm a simple mind. That could all be true, but because I don't have the knowledge that divine cells had before, I can just work. And the logical for me is because I don't know. Well, I know for a fact that there's other beings, consciousness that are living on Earth besides us. Like, duh. It's pure stupidity to think that humans are the only, like, there was one, in the movie Disclosure, the nun said, like, when the girl asks, like, when, do you believe that there's other life forms? What would you think? And she said, like, in the Bible, as she was referred to the Bible, it said it's on Earth. And then my other thing is, like, she was saying, like, it's common sense that there's so many. Why would there only be one consciousness, one being, right? That's just common sense, duh. But actually, being that there is no, when you think of it, the big concept is that we're all from ism. So there's just one, right? It's like the collective, just one, like the Borg. Though the Borg has a negative connotation. Yeah, and I don't like that term collective. Like, I'm sorry, that just offends me. That is, I have an aversion to it, and maybe it's my ego talking. But what I just want to say, this is like 54 minutes. I just want to say to whoever's, and I'm not going to do any other posts after this. I'll copy it to TikTok. I'm not going to do other posts, but I just want to say, like, and this message for everybody. It's not for their children. It's for anybody who's watching this video. It's like, be the change yourself. Do the hard work. Like, there's so many theories. You probably know other theories. You probably know a lot more ins than I do. But, like, I have a little simple mind. I'm just concentrating on what I actually know for myself to be truth and reality. I don't know if it's the evil extraterrestrials. I tend to believe in my theory about the theory about mankind, like, manipulating. But that's my little theory, conspiracy theory, all that. Like, I really don't care, so I'll choose to go with my thing. And reality, it don't matter to me which theory is actually happening right now. All I know is all the control, whether it's any of those three, all or whatever. All I know, all the control I have, I don't have the desire to change any of the world. I just have the desire to continue living my life of truth and honesty, speaking my truth, hoping for an opportunity for somebody to give me, like, a gig to speak my truth, and views of the world that get compensated. But I want to design clothing for my body that don't have no breasts and make me feel good. I want to write songs. I want to write poems. But for some reason, like, the last week, I have no desire to pick up a pen, really. No desire to pick up a pen. No desire to draw or whatever. Though I know that logically, right, to get income for the things I want, I will need to gain income, and income is gives, like, multiple streams of income, which is like, I'm not going to do the social media stuff, so I'm waiting for a gig, and then if that happens, then I'm not going to go seek after it, because I don't like social media. I'm just going to, like, I can write my book, but my story's not ended. I don't want multiple books, but, like, write poems, write poems, write poems, write songs, create my own clothing, design functional, warm houses to give to people for free, where all they need to do is reside in it. They don't need to worry about clothing. They don't need to worry about the bills to maintain the home. They don't need to worry about the food. That will all be provided for them. And if they choose to be a sloth or a couch potato, so be it. I will allow them. And my goal is, before I kick the bucket, 1,000 homes that I've provided for people, 1,000 homes or families, and they can choose to be sloths all their life if that's all they want to do. But my hope is that when the basic necessities are met, 1,000 people will actually decide and have the time to think and ponder what brings joy to their life and pursue that. What brings joy to their life? What have they always wanted to do but never had the time or the knowledge or whatever? Like, I want to give 1,000 people or families that opportunity. And that's my ultimate goal before I kick the bucket, is to provide that. And I want to provide that from my own ability. And right now I ain't, other than and now my bank account after eating out, I think I only have like $4,100 or $300 in my bank account. But I'm good because I realize I've been living an abundant and prosperous life my whole life. And I talked about it before, but I'll repeat it again. Abundant and prosperous is what the human vessel needs to live uh, prosperously. And human body don't need money to be live abundantly and prosperously. What human body needs to flourish and be abundant is the basics: food, warm clothing, shelter. That's what the human body needs. So we totally get the whole abundance and prosperity wrong. It has nothing to do with money. Money is a byproduct of abundance and prosperity. But abundance and prosperity, it refers to what the human vessel needs. Not, it has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with the concept good or bad, because you know, right? There is no such thing as good or bad. Man, humanity decided good or bad. Reality, there is no good or bad, but take it as you like it or whatnot. But it don't matter whether you're a good person or a bad person. It don't matter if you pray to the devil or don't pray to the devil, or you're witch or warcraft. What it don't matter. What matters, abundance and prosperity, means what does the human vessel need to flourish in this world? And what it needs is food, warm clothing, and shelter. That is it. And majority of people in the United States have this abundance and prosperity, right? We are born with it. We are born into it. Majority. Yes, there's those populations that don't have it, the homeless and whatever. But let's be real. A lot of that's were voluntary. And don't tell me like it's not voluntary. It's because the choices people make led them to being homeless. Hello. I'm homeless. It was the choices I made. It wasn't involuntary that I became homeless. It was the choices I made. So majority of people in the US live abundant lives from the day they were born. Has nothing to do with love, compassion, empathy, being a good parent, being a bad parent, abuse, incest, has nothing to do with that. It just has, what does the human vessel need to flourish? Food, warm clothing, safe shelter. That is what the human body needs to flourish. And then it is up to us to decide whether we're going to look for love, be loving, be compassionate, whether we're going to be evil, vengeful, we're going to go and do hatred unto others that done bad to us, which a lot of people choose to do, right? Because they were so hurt, so abandoned, so disillusioned that once they get some kind of monetary or material wealth, the first thing that comes into their mind is revenge, payback. Let's make those people that made me miserable as miserable or possibly even more miserable than us, right? In their mind, that is like the goal. And a lot of them do that and then hence get themselves further. So like, it has nothing to do with money. Money is a byproduct. So this is the other thing, is when you actually realize that you're living, and then the other thing is that you realize like every day you wake up, that is a gift. Plenty of people close their eyes, lay down in bed, sleep, and don't wake up. Like, actually, that'd be a cool way for me. I would be like, 100% sign me up. Take me that way. Like, Calgon, take me away. Seriously, I'm 100% for that. But are they going to do it? No, because the assignment has not been completed. And the thing is, like, yeah. But anyway, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm just saying, like, for the last 3 weeks, my jaw has been hurting, like, literally, like, aching pains, and I thought it was like lockjaw or something. But you know what I noticed? The more I talk, the more it doesn't like hurt. And then I'm like thinking, like, does that mean like ism and whatever are making it on purpose? So I need to speak, and when I speak, it doesn't hurt so much, and when I don't speak, as I've been not speaking, then it hurts some more. Like, what do you think? But anyway, it's like I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. But like, hold on, let me get some refreshing electrolyte before the ice. Oh my gosh, the ice has all melted. So refreshing. Really, like, I had a Coke last Sunday. I'm going to Ranch 99 tomorrow. I'm still deciding if I have a Coke, but probably I won't. But like, it was so good, but so bad because my body didn't really like it. I ate some like Vietnamese food yesterday. Um, Vermicelli. No, not vermicelli. No, I ate Chipotle yesterday. I didn't eat. Didn't really agree with me. I had like a stomach ache. I have like a garbage can stomach, and rather, but yeah, it didn't agree with me. Like my stomach was in pain until work. And then the previous night, uh, Saturday, Thursday, I had like a Vietnamese restaurant. I had vermicelli, grilled chicken, grilled pork vermicelli with egg roll. I devoured it and then gagged halfway, like, and then like it didn't wasn't good for my stomach, like. But this like electrolyte is really refreshing. Other than the dim sum I had, I brought it over, and it's what it's like the sun. I carried in the sun, but my stomach really like I'll eat it. It won't have any effect on me, but I don't know if I have the desire to eat it. It might just go in the garbage. But definitely like this electrolyte, artificial grapefruit electrolyte is wonderful. Definitely I'll be picking like 3 or 4 bottles tomorrow when I leave Ranch 99 because it's so refreshing. That is so wonderful. So 1 hour and 5 minutes. So like um what was I talking about? So yeah, so just like people have the wrong idea about abundance and prosperity, and then like me, like majority of people, I was like, where's the money? Like I lack money, I lack money. I was trying to earn money. I was worked at workers compensating insurance technician. Then I lost that job, became an life insurance agent, horrible at it. Like I believe in it, but I suck as a sales agent. I was like literally like begging people, it's good, it'll provide for your family, like. And you can tell I didn't succeed in it. And then 2 more attempts through World WFG, World Financial Group. Yeah, tried it once, didn't work out. Believed in it so much, tried it a second time, complete failure. And then I went into real estate, wanting to earn money. Bought my condo 100%, no money down, 100% financing. And then had to get a hard money loan because the wonderful loan I applied for, since it was the Thanksgiving, and my mind didn't think about that. They weren't able to get the verification, and so I was supposed to close my loan, and rather than letting it go, which would have been the rational thing, and applying for another loan, a good loan, I applied for a hard money lender, and then hence we ended up losing that condo in 2009. But like, so I was a real estate agent, sucked at that. I worked at dentist credentialing company. I worked at Domino's. I was like depressed for 7 to 8 years. Didn't know who I was, if I had any value as a human being when I didn't contribute to any money to the rent, to the utilities, to anything, food, anything. When I couldn't physically do things like, buy things for my nieces and nephews, take them to trips, buy things to them, take them to restaurants, like literally, like, thought I had no value as a human being. And I thought, like, what's the purpose? But hey, everybody, I'm not saying this is like my little sob story, which everybody has their little sob story. And honestly, I didn't spend much time dwelling on my sob story, and I don't want to hear your sob story either, because we all have sob stories. But what I'm saying is, I kept thinking, like, why am I living a life of lack, lack, lack? And the reality is, I wasn't living a life of lack, lack, lack. I was living a life of abundance and prosperity because I always had food. I was never homeless. I was never on the streets. Yes, my family wasn't loving. Yes, they weren't supportive of me. though they were supportive in the years that I had lupus, right? They paid for my Kaiser, like it was like 400 and 500. They paid for my Kaiser monthly premium. We didn't know that I could qualify for Medicaid. Nobody told us. Nobody informed us. So my family took turns paying for that. They were loving during that period, and my parents were caring and loving towards me. But like other aspects, no. And I had it better than most. But like I was kind of associating, like part of my thinking was thinking, because my family ain't loving, because my family ain't supportive, because they don't understand me, I'm living this life of lack. And it's like I didn't realize not loving whatever had nothing to do with it. It was just like the basic necessities for human life. And I had that all my life. I always had food. I always had a place to sleep. I always had clothing. Though, mind you, the first... up until age 11, it was secondhand clothing. Only the only new clothes I got was like I think in second grade or third grade. When the beginning of the year, I would get one new pair of tennis shoes that would last for the whole year. And sometimes by the end of the school year, I had holes in my shoes, and then like 3 or 4 outfits. That would be it. For new clothing, but that don't matter, like secondhand clothing. I always had that abundance and prosperity, but I was complaining most of my life. I live a life of lack, and what did the universe give lack? And that's like a majority of you. We all say we live a life of lack. We don't live a life of lack. Abundance and prosperity refers to, do you have the basic necessities for survival? And not just survival, to wonderfully survive. So we have safe shelter, warm clothing, food, and you make life out of that. You make it what it will. It don't matter what experiences you had, it don't matter. Reality is you have the basic building blocks to flourish. But most people choose not to flourish. They choose to complain about the lack. And what do we get? Lack. And why is the majority of the world living a life of lack? Because the majority of the world believe they live a life of lack. And the reality is there are some people in the world that actually lack abundance and prosperity. Yes, there are people that they don't have food. They don't have warm clothing. They don't have safe shelter. So there's people out there who actually don't have abundance and prosperity. But us in the United States, come on. The people on my island, come on. They all have abundance and prosperity. So we make out of it what we like. And as to like success, whatever coming afterward, that's because, let me just say my little spiel. You have to realize that you have abundance and prosperity. Like really realize it. Be grateful every day you wake up. Like I'm alive. I don't need to be alive. So like I said, I wish I would be one of those people that be taken away. Really. Or somebody would like, boom. But I know people can zoom. Like honestly, like I really would be willing. Like if somebody gave me opportunity, let's put it to the theory. Let's like literally put me under, because I don't want to feel the pain if I do pass away. Put me under like a bed, put me under, drug me so I die and I don't know. And then have people shoot bullets into me, throw grenades into me, right? And then let's test my theory. Do I actually still survive or am I dead? And if I'm dead, like, hello, only goodness for you, because that's where I want to be. And if like I don't die, then they ain't going to let me go until this assignment is completed. That's what I believe for fact. And I'm willing to put it to the test, right? Willingly, 100% willing. I'm single, make my own choices, nobody that I have to rely on or I have to get another person's opinion, whatever. I'm 100% up for it. So, hey, isn't that an opportunity? And then, you got to realize every day that you wake up, that's a blessing. And you got your senses, right? That's a blessing. That's a gift. Many people don't have one or more of their senses, right? That is a gift. And you feel pain. For me, like, I feel pain in my right ankle. I've been telling, you don't know, but like for the last month or so, I've been having pain in my ankle. I don't know if like I took an X-ray at the I went to Express Care, and it's not fractured, so like a sprain or something. But it's an awful. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's bad. So like, but I take it as like, a lot of people wish they had the pain. Like when I feel like when I woke up in the morning, I had like this awful cramp and this awful pain in my ankle. And my first thought was, "Hey, I'm alive. I can feel that pain in my ankle, and I can feel that like literally I wanted to cry. Like that cramp was so bad, but like I'm alive. I feel it. Many people are paralyzed. Wish they could feel that cramp, right? Could feel that pain. So that is a gift. Like people, you don't realize that is a gift, right? And you have that. And then let's not talk about you have a job. Oh my God. And forget if it's a SHITT job or a job, whatever. You got a job. Many people don't have jobs. The unemployment rate is high. I don't know. I'm just saying that because that's what people like to say. But as to reality, I don't know because I don't watch the news. But like you got a job, right? You get a moolah. And don't talk about your racist bog or whatever. That's your choice. You chose to do that. And you chose not to do the job that you love because you think that you can't support your family if you did that, or you won't, whatever it is. That was your conscious choice to do whatever job you're doing. And if you have a car, like, hello, I don't have a car, I have to take the bus. And like sometimes, even though I'm on social security disability, I just take the Uber because it's like my right foot is so painful. Like, but hello, like I'm proud of myself. I walked all the way from computer center to here, even though it was parts of it was painful. But I was like, my little thing is like I feel the pain. I didn't like hide the pain or ignore the pain. Like every time I stepped, I felt that pain deep in my ankle. Like I felt that pain. But actually, I kind of realized it wasn't pain. It was just like when my arthritis in my left hand, like a couple mornings, it was like so strong, the stiffness that I just felt. It wasn't pain, it was just stiff, like walking stiff. So I just like, yeah, but I did it, so I'm proud of myself though. You did good. But anyway, like, that those are gifts, those are blessings to feel that. But I know many of you people are like, wow, this lady, she's like off her rockers, like walking. What is that? A gift? Yeah, walking is a gift. Many people do not have legs. Well, there's one guy here I met at the shelter, Damon. He has a prosthetic leg. Like, I guess 5 years ago, he was in an accident and he lost one of his he lost one of his foot, so he has a prosthetic. But like many people don't, they lose, like people here have access to prosthetics. Many other countries don't have access to prosthetic. So when they lose the leg, they lose their mobility, right? So like, things you take for granted, dancing, moving your body, that's a gift. Singing, whether it's beautiful or not, is a gift, right? Talking is a gift. Like, who's that famous scientist, Hawking or whatever? He had to speak in that little machine or whatever. Like, we don't have to do that. Majority of people don't have to do that. We can just speak freely with the mouth that we have. Yeah, right? We don't need to have a little machine, and we don't need to maneuver like, some people have to talk into it or whatever. It's fantastic. But like, what I'm saying is, just you being in your body, able to walk, talk, breathe, wake, that is a gift. You are walking abundance, right? But do you believe? No, I'm living a life of lack. Lady, don't tell me I'm living a life of abundance and prosperity. I'm living a... So that's why majority of the population lives a life of lack, and there's only the 1% or 2% or whatever, I forget what number it is, lives a world of prosperity. Hello. Because people think they live a life. There is no shortage of anything in this world. There's no shortage of hatred. There's no shortage of lack. If you think lack, okay, the whole world could be lack, right? And there's no shortage of money, prosperity, abundance, joy, none of that. But people think they lack, so like, duh. And then once you get to that realization, like you love yourself, do all that jazz, and you realize, and you're grateful every day you wake up, right? Then you will be free because you will know. And one thing I tell you is because of that, you will know you don't necessarily need the things you think you need, and you can actually pursue the things that really bring joy to your life, and you can provide for your family, right? And in doing so, providing for your family, but doing the things that you love, and actually teaching your children, like giving them values, morals, like not like brainwashing them like little robots, like mind control, like telling them abundance, prosperity, teaching them about being respectful, teaching them about being kind, gentle, teaching them about being grateful of what they're given and what others lack, and how it would feel like if you lived that life of lack, right? There's so many parents, I see this in my own family, my siblings, is because we lived, so we thought, lived a life of lack material things, lack the plenty food or whatever. When they had children, they're like, oh, for giving them the material things, right? And nothing about compassion, love, empathy, understanding, compassion for others. None of that is taught. No. What is taught is you want this, then you need to earn it. You do this. Giving them material things, give material things, right? But how do you talk to your brother? How do you talk to your mother? What is respectful? It's your father's birthday? Do you think, what does your father do for you? He pays our bills, he takes us out, he helps us with our homework, he sings songs to us, he plays with us. What should we do for daddy? Should we make daddy a card? Should we sing daddy a song? Like, let's forget, we focus too much on the material aspect. Like, values, like, really teach your children values. Be kind. Be respectful. Be courteous to elders, to ladies, to gentlemen. Be courteous to everyone, even the homeless, even the people that are saying F you and whatever. Be courteous, because every human being deserves respect, whether they realize that or not, whether their action denotes that they deserve respect and courtesy. Yes, every human being deserves courtesy and respect because they are a human being. Just the fact that they exist denotes that they should be treated with respect and courtesy. Do they deserve it? A lot of people don't deserve it. That's the reality. But because you are a human being, you deserve courtesy and respect. That is the bare necessity of a human being. In my opinion, all this is my opinion. This 55-year-old who don't know nobody, right? This is all my opinion. This 55-year-old somebody opinion. But yeah, and I'd like to, I've been telling people, follow your abundant, do what you love, and abundance, and the money, which I was wrong. You already have abundance and prosperity, but the moolah is a byproduct. Money is a byproduct of abundance. And I think this is just, I haven't actually seen it exhibited in my life, but I think is what I'm conjugating and thinking. My hypothesis is that when you know who you are, you live a life of truth and honesty, and you're just being yourself, and you're doing the things you love, and you realize how much blessing you have every single day, and how you've lived a life of prosperity and abundance all your life. And when you're actually doing the things that you love, and that's where it comes to, when you're actually doing the things you love and living life joyously, then the moolah will come. I'm saying it out there, but actually I haven't seen the moolah come into my life. So I'm just saying that's what I think, but I'm using myself an example. But to be honest, one of the thoughts I had today too is really, with me being sick of this situation and pissed off at my divine self for volunteering for this assignment. There's a big part of me that just wants to live in this matrix, in this falsity, and just continue living in the shelter, wait until a 1-bedroom apartment comes, move into it, and just forget design clothing, forget talking my truth or whatever, and just move into it, and just decorate my apartment the way I want it to be, just for me, intentionally, and enjoy my own food, go watch a movie, occasionally travel. at least once a year, like, within the United States, or nothing, or somewhere out, and just enjoy life, like singing karaoke, writing my own songs for myself, and definitely taking my guitar lessons and taking my ballroom dances and whatever, and just living life. Like, forget about like earning the moolah, talking about appa and whatever. Forget all that, because to be real with you, like, it's not the fame I want. I don't want fame. I don't seek fame. I don't want attention. I just like speaking truth, and like to be get paid for it. I just want to do like the things, buy my things that I talked about, my home, my chauffeur, my cook, my cleaning crew, my landscapers, travel where I want to travel. And I really do desire to like 1,000 homes, like buy land, develop, create more functional homes that make sense. 1-story homes, not ranch homes, not no 2-story, 3-story, sorry, for 1,000 families or individuals, what could be individuals, but all up to 1,000, and give it to them and let them, because I believe, a lot of the way the world is because of lack. Because people lack, then they're trying to attempt to find that material, that gain, right? And they do acts. Majority of times it's negative acts, which impacts others negatively, impacts them negatively, and draws them further away. Or they actually gain what they want with their destructive acts, but in the end, it doesn't bring them joy. They end up harming themselves and others. It doesn't bring them the satisfaction, and it's all because people think they have lack. So my thing is like, I would desire like that there come a time, which I long would be no longer on this earth, where the minute a soul is born into this world, they have the basic necessities given to them. Ding. Warm shelter, food, and warm clothing for the rest of their life. And they could be a complete sloth and a couch potato. If they want to do that until the end of their days, then so be it. They can do that happily, right? But also it gives the people, because you don't lack those things, then they can focus to free. What do you want to be? What do you want to design? What do you want to create? Like I heard something about a couple of days ago about TikTok about Hitler, that the reason why Hitler was the way he was because he had a lot of creativity and desire and in him, but because he was prevented, I forget what he wanted to be, because his father didn't allow it, and that creativity, that desire was so strong in him, right? That that energy had to be released, and hence, I don't know, that was just somebody's take on it, but it kind of makes sense, right? And I heard one of the, there was a man here in the shelter who was released after he killed a man who molested his niece, and I forget, like, he was in there for like how many years, I forget how many years he was, but he was released, and like, he's talking, he has a 14-year-old daughter, and that was due to conjugal visits. I guess they get 2 or 3 nights, two or three nights, like conjugal, like a place like in the prison, like they have like a little suite with a bed and like a kitchen and a little mini living room, and they have conjugal visits. So his daughter was created 14 years ago. So he's released now and asks where his daughter was, and she's like in San Diego, like incarcerated, like got into drugs, did all these like horrible things, and he was talking about all this stuff that she's gone through. And like when I heard it, like all I could get from it, like if you heard it, you would think, what, this troublemaker? All I heard was, this young girl is so passionate, so intelligent, so creative, but she doesn't have an outlet, a positive way to release that energy, hence all this self-destructive behavior, and probably because she didn't have people around her to guide her, to love her, 100% and just encourage her to be who she is and to give her the opportunity to explore the creative side. So hence that creativity had to come, and it came out in very self-destructive behavior, self-destructive to herself primarily and to others, properties, against the laws or whatever. But all I got was this beautiful young girl is so creative, so passionate, so intelligent. She had this outlet, but there wasn't nobody to guide her. So it's like we are all beautiful, divine beings. That's all I want to say is like, and now I'm thinking, now my jaw doesn't hurt so much. All this talking, 1 hour and 29 minutes, like 1 hour and 30. And I don't know how long, it'll probably take like the whole day for it to upload onto YouTube. And then after that, I'll upload it to TikTok. But like, that's all I wanted to say. It's like, this is for anybody. It's not just the chosen. It's like anybody, just be the change you want to be. But you got to do the hard work. And I don't blame you if you don't do it, because like you're joining the majority of the world that don't want to do it, don't believe it has significance. And that's like just for the rich people who have time to go off into retreats and meditate or whatever. That's a false concept. Concept. You know what I mean. But yeah, that's it. I love you, and truly, these are just my thoughts, my truth, and who am I? I'm just a somebody like you're somebody who's giving my opinion, but there's 8.2 billion other opinions out there. So this is just one of many. So look, scroll past. And I love you, you divine soul. I don't know how your Saturday's been. Like today, I chose to be like sad, depressed, demonic. Like I saw this butterfly, which is my thing is like, let me just say a little thing. Like since I was young, I had this image of myself in Tonga Island. I'm Tongan, right? Polynesian. And this image of me, probably like I was 4 or 5, wearing like this white cotton dress, probably made by my mother, barefoot, in my home where we had a lot of plants, and standing among these green bushes with some flowers, and there's all these dead like monarch butterflies. I don't know if they're mud, but they're the gold colored monarch butterflies dead. Like what I was doing literally was I was ripping off the wings off of these butterflies and just throwing them down on the floor. And here I was in my little white dress on the ground, the black earth, barefoot, green shrubs with flowers, some of them, and butterflies, monarch butterflies all around those surrounding, which is inconceivable, right? That it could be like that, surrounding the green bushes, and on the floor next to the black dirt littered the carcasses of and the wings of like hundreds, like literally hundreds of dead, I don't know what you call it when the body's removed from the wings, but that and the wings. And hear me holding a butterfly, looking at it. Like kids can be like so inhumane sometimes. They're so loving and like so truthful and honest, brutally honest, right? Which is like, to me, that's refreshingly honest. And yet at the same time, they can be so callous and cruel. And so here I was being callously cruel and demonic, just ripping the wings, looking at this butterfly who was like stupidly landing on my hand, or I grasped it off the bushes and I tore off the wings. Like, look how evil can I be? And anyway, I've always loved butterflies, but maybe they sense this evil and this in me. But like whenever I feel whatever, I see like these golden monarch. I don't know if they're monarch, but like the gold, whatever. And when I was walking back from shoreline, on shoreline, I hadn't reached Charleston yet, like this bigger than normal size golden monarch type butterfly was flying. And I was like, don't come near me, because I have a desire to like crush you, destroy you, put you under my feet and like crunch you under. Like I'm feeling very evil and demonic, and I choose to be this way today, like demonic and evil and destructive. Like, so don't come near me, because if you get near me, like, don't blame me if I'm going to destroy you and take you out of existence, right? And it kept blowing, and I was like, and you guys, like, the other side that's sending them to me as encouragement, sometimes it pisses me off because, like, they're irritating. They come and I look at them and enjoy it, and then they flitter and they disappear, right? Then they come back. It's like irritating to me, frankly. Like, they're gonna be there. Let me enjoy them. Like, don't just flitter flat. And this one, like I was saying, remove yourself from me, because if I get near you, I'm gonna be destructive. I wanna, like, grind you and crunch you, and, like, really, like, all these feelings were like destroy, destroy, destruct. So don't come near me. I warned you. And then guess what it did? It flew even more in front of me, like, saying, hey, Nappy Pappy, here I am. You can't do anything. And I was just like, you guys heard me say that I'm, like, consciously choosing to be evil and destructive and whatever, sad and depressed today. So, like, if you really wanted to cheer me up, like, 3 or 4 butterflies like this color hovering around would cheer me up. Right? That really would. And then I think, but I know you guys ain't going to do that. So it's like, sometimes it just pisses me off when you send these little one, especially like these tiny, usually they send like a tiny little golden butterfly. Like, it just irritates out of the heck of me. Yeah, I can be evil too. Yeah, Normally you see the nice side. I can be evil and destructive. So it's like this butterfly irritated the heck of me, and it was just flying like, here, you can't do anything. Like, I want to just slap the heck out of it. But did I run? No, because I don't have the energy to do that. And honestly, I don't have the energy to chase it and crunch it down. The desire is there, but the energy and the laziness aspect, no. And then I was saying, like, yeah, I'm depressed today. And yes, even though I was at the Fulham Chinese restaurant and I was eating deliciously and smiling and enjoying people watching, that was just me putting on a front. Actually, I was sad, depressed, envious of people with families, envious of them having love in their life, and I was just eating, and though I was smiling, I really didn't enjoy myself. I was just putting up a front of enjoying myself, right? And then, to be honest, like, all the anger and depression was lifted away, really. But that pissed off attitude towards that butterfly was real. Like, really? Anyway, so, like, yeah, butterflies have always had a significance to me. And it kind of, a lot of other people too have butterflies, something significant, so duh. But, like, yeah. But, I looked up, like, in Tonga Island, and I think I read somewhere that there's a time period that they might go to Tonga, but, like, reality, maybe it was all in my imagination. But yeah, it's so clear. Like, since I was 5, I've had this image of me, little white dress, possibly made by my mother, barefoot, green bushes at our home, flowers in some of the green bushes, numerous hundreds of butterflies, monarch butterflies, and the image, right? That's not real. There are going to be hundreds, and all these hundreds of dead monarch butterflies on the ground because I ripped their wings off. And like I said, like, children can be they're so brutally honest, and they can be so callous too. So I don't know. I was just like being my little demonic self. I don't know, but, like, I just had to bring that up. So, like, it's been an hour and 37. So now I'd like to, like, drink some more of my artificial grapefruit electrolyte. Then I want to, like, do some reading, and then I actually have to change my address and then look up, like, how much it costs for a passport. I want to get my passport because opportunity, like, if I get the opportunity to travel, like, out of country, yeah. But so I have to do that. So there's stuff for me to do. So long, farewell. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Anyway, I love you. Whoever's watching this, I love you. And I just wanted to say there's a lot of people that I responded to, like, the several days, like, people that are donating, like, 10,000 to 5,000 or 50,000, right? Honestly, I don't need, like, yeah, I could use the money, like, definitely move out, but I don't need the money. There's billions out there. There's 8.2 billion people out there who need the money more than me, because, like I said, I got 4,000, like, at least 200 in my bank account, and I get 1,569. I don't have any bill except for 2,101 and 6 cents Las Vegas bill, but I'm waiting for money from Kaiser, and waiting for my SSI money that they owe me for Social Security disability. Once I get that, I'll pay off that 2,101. So I don't need the money. Like, if I had it, like, I really, there's like 8.2 billion people who need the money more than me. I'm already living a life of abundance and prosperity. I have enough to go eat like at restaurants. I have enough to like take Uber, but like I gotta be cautious. Like, before I was taking Uber, I was like tipping like $50 or 20. I don't know. There's a limit to how much. Like, I was being like the big spender. Yeah, yeah, me. But like, yeah. So I gotta be frugal about that. But I'm already living a life of abundance. So I thank you. I don't have no cash app. I don't have no, I think I might have, but I lost it. Or I don't have no WhatsApp and all those other jigger jaggers. So if I respond to you, I'm just thanking you. You don't need to like DM me for like, DM me for like, DM me for like, to give me money, because I don't have any of those accounts. And really, there's 8.2 billion people who need the money more than I do. I'm already living a life of prosperity, abundance, and prosperity. And actually, all I need is just like somebody to give me an opportunity to speak my truth, views about the world. In front of a live audience, and then compensated heavily for it. And I know I'm just saying compensated heavily, but my words have value to me. And I'm at the point, like, I'm doing this for free, because I got it. There's a desire in me just to speak. But, like, when I speak, this is what I kind of like about doing this, is that when I speak, I can speak until I finish my thing. But when I speak with people, it's like I get cut off, the baby cries, or the phone rings, or somebody comes and asks a question. Like, that pisses me off, even though that's real. Like, when I speak, I need people to listen to me. Hence, that's why I prefer speaking to a live audience if they're paying big moolah. If they're paying big moolah, then they're going to, like, stay for their money's worth, right? They're not going to just walk off, that's the restroom, or like the body calls, like they need to do a deposit or they need to release some liquid, right? Those are understandable, right? But other than that, like, it pisses me off when I'm speaking and people are not listening, which is like, so that's why, yeah. So that, I'm just being real. But yeah, for those people, like, thank you. If I might make comments, so don't DM me and like, give me your cash app or whatever. Like, yeah, like, I don't have none of that. And there's 8.2 billion people who need help more than I need help. So the only help you can give me, and majority of people the people who respond to me, I guess, don't have the desire or the connections or the ability to do that, what I ask for. So that's fine. You're doing a good job of helping others, blessing others. And I really don't know what your intent is doing that, but it doesn't matter what your intent, good or bad. It's wonderful because the people that are being helped, it really helps them. So, and then there's one other thing. There was somebody that said DM me for 15,000, and I said, like, why would you give me 15,000? And then after that, no response. So like, that kind of pisses me off. Like, if you're doing that, but then again, I get it. Like, there could be the logarithm, and certain people respond, and the logarithm says, okay, we'll send this, DM me, whatever, whatever. But that kind of just irritates me. But that's just me personally. He said DM me for 15,000. I said, and I responded like, why would you give me 15,000? And then nothing. So like, yeah, that pisses me off. But that's just an opinion. Probably the person that did it, it's like the logarithm, it just automatically, like, certain phrases, whatever, and then it connects and it sends a reaction. So for people like who I thank you and say you're doing a good job, and one day I shall do that to bless people, don't respond to me and say DM me or whatever. I don't need the help. There's 8.2 billion people who need more help than me. I'm living a prosperous and happy life, a prosperous, abundant life. I got money. I can take Uber. I can eat at restaurants, not 5-star Michelin's. Possibly, like, if I want to splurge into 1,000, but gotta be wise with my money. But I'm good. I don't need the money. All I need is the opportunity. And I have a feeling, knowing that if I'm given that opportunity, whoever gives me that opportunity, I will make money for you, right? Like, I will not be somebody that you will promote or give an opportunity and you will lose money. You will actually earn money from me. Uh, you know? All I need is an opportunity. But forget that. That's just me being selfish, doing my little jibber jabber, right? My little selfishness. But I love you, whoever you are. I hope you had a wonderful day as I did. Definitely you didn't choose to be have a demonic, evil, depressed day like I did, but I hope you have a wonderful day. And definitely tonight when you sleep, I hope you have a restful sleep. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, I hope that the issue that's most pressing on your mind, that is most pressing, whatever um, issue it is, that you get illumination, clarity, or are have an inkling of where to whom to contact, where to look to gain a solution for your problem. Uh, I really do hope that for you, that when you really do get a restful sleep with no stress, no worries, whatever happens to your body, that your body's not aching when you sleep tonight. You have a restful sleep, and when you wake up in the morning, whatever is most pressing on your mind, uh, most urgent in your mind, most stressful, that you get a solution, you get clarity, illumination, you get a hint towards which direction to move, um, solving your solution or finding an answer, or leading you to people or circumstances that will lead you to getting help for your issue. I really desire that, and I hope that for you. And I don't say pray because we're all ism. Whether you believe it or not, we're all beautiful divine souls. And when you pray, when you ask for help, you're only asking the awakened souls here on Earth, Gaia, Terra, whatever you want to name this planet, and all the awakened souls in other places, galaxies, dimensions, whatever. That's who you're asking for help is, because we are all one, we are all connected. And it's just like the people said, like when I look at you, when you look at me, if I look at a stranger, it's not a stranger. I'm looking at myself, because we're all connected. We're all atoms. There's no gap, right? We're all just is, right? We're all connected. Like we're all just moving around, connected to each other. So the concept of a web is very pertinent. We are all in the web, right? We're all in the web. And even if we destroy evil aliens or whatever, it don't matter. I'll just choose to live in this existence with this knowledge that I have, and I'm just going to continue being me, living my life of truth and honesty, just being me, and just treating people the way I treated people all my life. But just now I'm a little more picky. I'm not playing the Savior, the Jesus Christ Messiah, the crying over every single human being, the need to feel guilty. None of that is happening. I'm not like literally speaking to everyone. Like I saw earlier at when I was walking towards the library, Mountain View Library, I was crossing City Hall, and I saw to the left side, once I passed City Hall, there was a man, a homeless man, sitting on a wheelchair or whatnot, with many bags. And the first, when I lived in that first shelter, I was like literally dragging my little suitcase, my little carry-on suitcase everywhere. Like it was horrible. Then I went to bags, and it was horrible. So I looked at him and I gave him a beautiful smile. He smiled back. And then I left, and I was thinking to myself when I went to the library. I saw Wicked, by the way, the second Wicked. It was like, I fast forwarded because I was like, you idiot, why don't you leave? She was like, I'm going to change, I'm going to bring back Oz for the people. It's like, you idiot. They're not going to appreciate you for what you do. And I know there's people that'll be like, that's the heroine, she don't care. And I'm like, I'm not that idiot. So frankly, I was kind of sickened of that when I got that, which I know that's how stories typically go. So I fast forwarded it to the end, and in the end, she's off with her true loved one on the other side where the animals had fled previously, walking their la la land, and then Glinda the Good is like, whatever. So I'm like, that ain't my story. Like, I don't believe in that kind of truth. Like, you know, she didn't have the ability to change Oz, right? She didn't have the ability. It's the people themselves that have the ability to do it. Like this world, whatever it is, whether it's aliens or holographic, and then we're living in a computer AI or computer program, or the humans are controlling, which is I like my conspiracy theory. It don't matter, right? So it's like people, there's no one person that can change the world. Everybody only has the ability to change themselves. It's just the fact is, the more people, the greater the percentage of people that change themselves, the greater the percentage of the world actually changing. The lesser the percentage of people changing themselves, realizing who they are, then the lesser the chances that the world will change. That's just plain fact, rational. That's it. Forget emotional. That's just the reality of it, right? So yeah, fast forward it, but like when I passed by, I was thinking like, oh, I see him, right? And then I went and watched the movie, fast forward it, and then I was like, boring. And then I thought, oh, I better go to the change my address at the post office. So I walked, and when I walked past, I saw him again. I didn't have any face contact. I saw him, and I was thinking, should I buy him like lunch or something? And then I was thinking about it, and then I was like, honestly, I didn't want to walk back. Walked back all the way there, and then I went and ate. Went to the post office, then went to Fulam, had my dim sum, enjoyed it, and then walked to bus 40, and then just sat there for like 40 minutes. I don't know. I now I try not to look at the well. I don't even look at the what time the bus. I just go there and sit there, and I was enjoying myself, just people watching. I enjoyed the sun and people watching. I like to see like how people are. You know, like many others. So I was just enjoying. And then I was thinking to myself, like I thought of that young man. And I was like, I could get up and like walk. There's like next to the Starbucks. I mean, to the Pete's Coffee. There's like a healthy food place, like sweet something. Like I could go and buy him a lunch and a drink, and then take it to him, and then come back. But then I was thinking like, did I want to do the effort? No. Did I want to do it? And then I would only be doing it to be a good person. And then I was like, nah. So like before, like, so yeah. So like, you know, I always feel for people, and I didn't act on everybody I saw, but there's just a lot more times, to be honest, I did approach people. But now it's just, I see people and I'm just like, I'm more realistic, I guess, because I realize, people make their own choices. So unless like something particularly, like I look and I see somebody that looks particularly sad, or like I see pain or something, and I feel that they're approachable, then I'll say something, and then move forward. Like I'll say an encouraging word. But now I don't have like that Messiah complex and that like bleeding heart complex. There's plenty of people out there who have it, so let them do the good works and get the credit. Like that's not me. I love people, but I've just come to the realization that, you know, I can't change people, and they're wherever they are because of their own choices. But just, there's certain people I'll see, they look so sad, so down, or their body's so hunched over. But at the same time, you can pick up that there's some people that are open to like an interaction, and there's people that just put up that front. So not only would you be irritating them, you'd be just adding to their grief and whatever. So I'd puck off. But every once in a while I'll come across somebody like that, and then I will like act to those people and just say something, say something funny, or just to cheer them up, and then move forward. Like when I was walking back, I saw like this gentleman on the parking to go to get my ticket, lottery ticket. Like I saw this African gentleman had a shirt raised up and it said, "It's a wonderful day, beautiful day, huh?" And he smiled and said yes. And then I went and there was another man, a Hispanic, in a van with a dog. And I said, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" And then he said yes. And he had a beautiful smile. And then like he said, if I hadn't mentioned it, he wouldn't have realized it. And then I was walking, and he really had a beautiful smile. And there was an inclination of me, once I walked like 3 cars, to go back and tell him, you have a really beautiful smile. But then I thought, part of me was like, didn't want to do the effort, and then I was like, so then I just passed it. But he really did have a beautiful smile, like when, because he wasn't like smiling. But when I said that, like instantly his face changed. You know, people become so beautiful like when they smile. Like really, like it just like I saw one guy, yeah, yesterday or the other day. I was coming, a fellow resident at the shelter. I think it was yesterday. I came and he was sitting, and he looked like blood. His lips were turned down. And I said, you know, smile. It's an instant facelift and it's free. And he smiled, you know, for that second he smiled. And then I moved forward. But certain things like that, like I'll say, you know, because it makes me feel good. And I see that they're like not having such a good day. And sometimes, like, that's all, you know, I see this little green thing. That's like the little pass when I pay the $21.50 for the computer museum. A little clip that they gave me, you know, to put on to prove that you paid. You're rocking around your paid customer. But a lot of times, you know, you don't need to like be a savior. You don't need to donate 50,000. Well, I'm not belittling the 50,000. Don't get me wrong, but like if you don't have it, there's other ways. A smile, you know, acknowledgement that you exist, because we pass people every day and we don't even acknowledge that they're a human being and we're a human being, and they're alive, we're alive. I see you, right? People, and then you know what kind of pisses me off is like when people say, they walk by and they say, how are you doing, and you really, they don't care. It's just a form of greeting. It's like hi. Reality is not hi, it's how are you doing. So don't open your mouth and say how are you doing if you're not going to stop and listen to the response, right? If you're just going to say, just say hi and walk by. Don't say how are you doing, right? Don't say how are you doing, because if you say how you're doing, then stop. Acknowledge that here's a human being. Acknowledge that everything, because what if they give you a talk for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you only want, you're getting your Jamba Juice, you're getting your food, and you got to be back, whatever. Don't say how are you doing. Just say hi and pass by. Because, you know, it's like a lot of times I've been tempted, like when I was walking in Bellingham, Washington, the trail behind my apartment, I've been tempted to like say, horrible, my husband left me, I lost my job, I was told I had breast cancer and it's stage 4 and I have a 3-month-old baby. What am I gonna, like, you know, I was like, sometimes I feel like to do that and then like see what the reaction is, because they opened their mouth and said, how are you doing? So please, you don't mean it, so don't open your mouth and say, unless you're willing to like actually listen to the answer, whether it be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour. Don't open your mouth, please. Don't use that as the polite expression is hello, good morning, good afternoon, and then walk past or smile. That's the best thing, smile and then walk past, right? Don't give the people like, how you doing? And then you already walk past. And of course I know the adage that everybody knows you don't mean it. So don't say it if you don't mean it. Don't say it. Don't open your mouth and say, how you doing? How's it going? Don't say it. Just say hi. Just smile, a beautiful smile, and walk past. Right? I just needed to air that out. Now after that, I feel a little bit better. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for being patient. It's an hour and 57:40, and I know majority of you ain't gonna listen, but I think I have 102, so hopefully some of you will listen for 5 minutes, please. But anyway, that's all this somebody's gotta say. Thank you. I love you. Yes, you beautiful, gorgeous you. Whether you're a man or woman, beauty is not just for men. Woman, beauty is for men too. Yeah, beautiful souls too, man. You do. You may not believe it, but you got a beautiful soul as blindingly bright as my soul. So you're beautiful.